Okay, guys, this is going to be my review of the 1942 classic Casablanca. And I think what's interesting about the Casablanca, whatever, it's interesting. I think a disclaimer is that it probably will take me a bunch of times to rewatch it to I guess know the full reach of the story. But I understand. I think it was actually on a surprising smaller scale than I had thought. I think a lot of it takes place in Rick's cafe, but I think the strongest parts are probably the characters and their dynamics. Whether it be Rick and his the girl, and the girls shoot, I forgot the other guy's name. It's Rick Elsa or whatever, and then her husband. I think it's the trio's dynamic, as well as the cops, and having the World War II backdrop. And I think what makes this film as crazy is how authentic it is. That this was actually filmed during World War II. This was actually going on, which made it kind of crazy and you know getting crazy that like wow, this was actually, because like you see all these World War II epics and whatnot and war films and historical dramas, but the crazy thing is this was filmed then. This is authentic. This is what was going on at a time when they didn't know who was going to win. They didn't know what was what the future would hold. So it was interesting to kind of see, and I think like at the heart of it is a film about people trying to escape a war zone, and because we always see when in terms of World War II we see points of views of the Nazis and points of view of the Jews or the soldiers, but we never really get the point of view of the people who live in the occupied cities that are not holding custody or not a soldier, just people, citizens, in the backdrop of what's really going on. And I think it was interesting to see, and again, exploring how much control the Germans have. Of you need visas to get out, and I think again like exploring the relationship of Rick and this girl in France, and how the complexities of how she thought her real husband was dead, and wants Rick has the letters to get out and wants them for her own needs, and everybody's own contriving and contradicting goals that make each character unique. And I think well again I think it will take me multiple times to really understand the story and comes to grips to it. It was interesting for me, and it was an interesting spotlight to my fandom, because it was like this film came out, like everybody in this film is probably dead. I was like that's how crazy it is. It's like so long ago, because I think that's by far, besides Wizard of Oz, but even Wizard of Oz got remastered with the coloring. So, but yeah, Wizard of Oz came out in '39, but still, this technically is one of the oldest films I've seen, the second oldest film I've seen besides Wizard of Oz. But I enjoyed it. I think slow paced story, but I really enjoyed the characters. I think again, like I said, those strongest points. I mean, the characters and the dialogue was fast, fast paced and very very quick, and I could barely hear a lot of the stuff, and a lot of dialogue seemed fit for the '40s, but maybe not now. So I honestly watched a lot of it with subtitles. I think to get, because again it went by fast. I think like quippy quick dialogue, like blah, 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 type thing. So but I was surprised that I genuinely enjoyed the film. I thought maybe yeah just from this film, and again like you learn about these characters, growing relationships, and that their dynamics, and some again when with the subtitles there is I sometimes am able to pull myself to really remember some lines, but I did enjoy it. I think I'm not crazy about this film. I think people call this one of the best films of all time. But for me, again, at this point, I'll probably rewatch it plenty of times in my lifetime. But right now, as a 13-year-old kid, I'll rewatch and more develop my full opinion. So I think I could put. Well, I've seen this film in its full length, and I've totally seen the film. It's almost like a disclaimer to this film, because I would probably want to watch it multiple times, and and not a lot of I didn't know what a transport visa, or a lot of these different soldiers and characters. And again, there's a lot of, because I think the cleverness of telling it somewhat out of order, and some of the clever parts of this film maybe a kid like me wouldn't understand at this point. So I enjoyed this film for what I could take out of the film for now, but definitely I think I'll have a growing love as, kind of the years go by, and I continue to rewatch this film. Sage of Horror videos coming at you.